Hey everybody, it's Lon Seidman taking a look today at the SanDisk Media Drive, and this is a device that allows you to copy files to your iPad and iPhone and Android device wirelessly. It's kind of like a little wireless server, and you can copy files and stream video and all that other stuff, and it's kind of a neat idea. And I reviewed this one earlier from SanDisk. This is their flash drive product. It also has built-in Wi-Fi and also allows moving files around wirelessly, but they actually are very different products from each other. And I'm going to kind of go into detail on this one, but you should also check out my review of this guy because this one does things a little bit differently, and there's things on here that might work better for you than this one and vice versa. So we'll do a little bit of a comparison, but we're going to focus our detail on this one. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at the product here. And as you can see, it is a very attractive unit. It's got a metal aluminum band around it, which is very nice. Power button on the front has 3 indicator lights to let you know what it is doing. By the way, you can connect directly to this via Wi-Fi, or you can connect it to your Wi-Fi network. So you're able to essentially use your internet connection as well as connect to it with your wireless device. And it's kind of neat when it gets back into, like once you set up these wireless access points that it can access, when it finds one, it just connects to your network automatically, which is really handy, especially if you move it back and forth to the office or something like that. So kind of a neat approach to that. It makes it very useful. Not much on this side. On the back here, you have a USB connector, and this plugs into the computer. Now you move files from the computer onto this thing, not via wireless, but it just shows up as a drive on your computer. And when it's in that mode, it's not on the wireless. So you can't connect it to the computer and use the iPhone or Android device simultaneously. So you have to disconnect it or disable the USB file transfer mode, and then you can reconnect it with your device there. Now another neat thing on here, oops, we're going to get to that in a minute. Another neat thing on here is that there is a SD card slot. So there is 60, on this particular model, there's 64 gigs of onboard flash memory built in, and then you can take any SD card that's compatible. I suppose I should probably use a SanDisk card, but this was the only one I had in the hopper at the moment. You can pop this in here, and then you can access the files on that flash drive using your iPhone or with your Mac or PC. In fact, when you plug it into your PC, it actually works like a card reader. So it shows up as a separate drive, and you can get at all those files and whatnot. So pretty neat. So let's take a look at the app, and we'll do that, and then we'll compare it to this guy at the end of the video. So let's take a look at the software. When you first load the app up, you're presented with either what's on your iPad by clicking the iPad button at the bottom, or what's on your drive. And what's important to point out right off the bat is that where this differentiates, where the media drive differentiates itself from the flash stick, is that the media drive really only plays with media. So photos, videos, maybe audio files, but it doesn't really do well with other types of files. So you can't take a PDF off of your Dropbox app, let's say, and move it over to this thing. The app just doesn't support that. What's interesting is that this thing, the same company, SanDisk, the flash memory stick, the app for this does allow you to move just about any file from any app over to this thing, and off you go with it. It's a very different approach, which I thought was rather interesting. So if you're looking to do a lot of file transfers and moving PDF files around and that kind of thing, this is probably the product for you. This is certainly a lot better at managing media, and we're going to spend some time now taking a look more about how you do that. So pretty much, if you want to look at what's on the drive, you make sure the Drive tab is selected, and now we're browsing photos that are on my media drive here. So if I want to take this one and just hit the button here, I can add it to my iPad camera roll. This came out of my one of my Fuji cameras upstairs, so it copied that over just fine. And then if I wanted to, I could then hit the home button here and go to videos, and it will look at both what's on the media drive's internal memory as well as what's on its SD card. So for example, this file here is on the SD card, and I'm going to just play it, stream it over the wireless network right now. It takes a minute for it to kind of queue it up, but once it gets going, you're off and running. So here you go. We're just streaming a video that is stored on the SD card. It's not actually moving around a lot because there wasn't a lot of motion in there. As you can see, too, it is having a little bit of a hard time getting it queued up there, but it depends on your wireless conditions. I got a lot of interference down here, so that might be part of the problem. But there you go. You can stream a video, and that works pretty nicely. And you can, of course, look at music. It does have a couple of songs that it comes with, so if you're looking for the new music, you might find some on there. Then there's some files. So, for example, like I can go into the media drive and pull off the Quick Start PDF. But again, what's interesting is that I can't load it in the app. So where that Flash Connect stick, this thing, the app will allow me to load up that PDF file and view it. This one I have to choose where I send it to. So just keep that in mind, that really this is really very much media focused. Now you saw before that we can get access to what's on the card in addition to what's on the media drive itself, which is nice. One thing you can't do yet is you can't have the device transfer from the SD card to the internal memory and back again. It doesn't really have a way to do that yet. SanDisk has responded in a couple of comment forums that they will be adding that functionality, so you could really use this as kind of like a holding tank or a backup device. If you're out in the field with your camera, you could eventually stick your SD card in here, copy the files into the internal memory, and have a backup, which is always helpful if you're doing some really important media work. You can have that ability to have some peace of mind that you can do a backup in the field, and I think that's going to be a nice feature when they add it. You also have some settings you can focus on as well, so you can hit the settings icon here at the bottom, and the app I found is a little flaky sometimes. I do get some freeze-ups like I'm getting right now, so hopefully this will, we may have to take a quick break here and pop out of the app and pop back in, so I will do that. All right, well, we had a crash of both the device and the app, but we're back in action. So I just wanted to show you just briefly, there's a way that you can connect the drive to your local network, so you're able to access it without having to tie up your Wi-Fi connection. So when you first get it, you have to connect your Wi-Fi directly to the device. And when you do that, your iPhone, your Android, or your iPad won't be able to connect to the internet also. So what they do is they offer a way here just through this connect to internet option that you can tell it where your local wireless access point is in your house, so that it'll connect to that, and then you can connect to it over your local network and still be able to use the internet. But you can't access this on the internet. It just allows you to connect to it locally when you're home or in your office network or whatever. So pretty neat little idea that they did that. The other one does it also, and actually makes it really useful. So you're not giving up your internet connection when you want to get access to the drive. So that's pretty helpful there. The one last thing I wanted to show you is that at least on the Apple platform, you can play copy-protected music or movies that you bought from the iTunes store. So let me show you. I've loaded up a protected file, one that I purchased. Now you have to make sure that your iPad has been authorized to play that content from the iTunes store. So you make sure it's on your account. And when you click on a protected file, it's going to say you're leaving the Media Drive app. And what it's going to do is it's going to pop open Safari and then play the file there. So it is pretty much, there it goes. So there you have it. It's the Media Drive from SanDisk. And you might be trying to figure out, though, like, do you get this one, which is the wireless memory stick, or the Media Drive? And you know what? They're very different products. It was actually surprising, because I thought that this one was going to work just like this one, but they have two different apps, two different approaches to how you work with things. And I would say that if you're looking to move around more than just photos and video, this one might be the better choice, because again, you cannot move, at least right now, you cannot move a PDF file off your iOS or Android device over to this. You can move it over to this. You can go the other way, so if there is a file stored on here, you can bring it over, but the app is really limited to media. I did find that navigating the app for this, as far as moving media around, was a lot more intuitive for the Media Drive than it was for the Connect flash stick drive. So, you know, you've got your choices here. I think if you're, really focused on media, this one is probably the better choice. But if you're looking for a more all-around kind of file moving in or out kind of activity, this one is probably better for that activity. But both are excellent. They're very well designed. I've been really using this one a lot. I'm really quite pleased with it. And I'm thinking I'm going to find some pretty helpful uses for this as well, especially kind of moving photos around a little bit easier to my wife's iPad. So this is Lon Seidman. Thanks for